Karen Louise Cox from Douglas Jackson. I head up the executive search practice here, and I have today with us Karen Walker, who is currently working at IPSA. Karen is one of the most respected customer services directors in the industry here in the UK. And so over to you, Karen, for a brief intro.
Very kind, Hannah, thank you. Yeah, my role currently is Independent Parliamentary Standards Authority, where I'm Director for Strategy and Change. So we look after the administration of MPs paying business costs, so ever topical. But I'm also a non-exec director at the Bradford Teaching Hospital Foundation Trust, NHS.
Awesome. Yes, I should have actually said that the subject of the interview today essentially will be around that whole non-executive director piece. Yeah, it's just some questions around that. And Karen, very humble there, but you have worked for First Direct and Virgin, two of the most respected brands within the customer space. So yeah, moving on to the questions then, if that's okay. So Karen, for you, what are the key differences in a non-executive role versus an executive role?
It's such a great question, Hannah, and it's only when you go through the process, I think, that you really learn. And in my role with the NHS, it's a foundation trust. And what that means is that I'm part of a unitary board, which is the single board of directors. So an exec director is there to do strategy, lead the direction of the organisation, run the organisation day to day. Whereas a non-exec director is there to probe and seek assurance, challenge, hold all of the execs to account, and that's hold them to account for the organisation's performance.
Brilliant, and I'm sure, such as myself, information there that people wouldn't necessarily have thought of. So really great response there, Karen. And I mean, what do you personally get out of being a non-executive director?
I just get so much, Hannah. I get to learn, I get to see different ways of working, I get to see great practice, but I also get to make a difference and have an impact aside from the job that I do every day. So I think it makes me a better exec. I've got a greater sense of purpose. I work with a board of really outstanding people. And I'm on the board in my own, I work with the board in my own organisation, and I think it just makes me a better executive overall in response to the NEDs that sit around my table. So I anticipate needs, I bring in better practice, I really think about what I need to do to assure the board in my own org.
Awesome, and I know that you really love to give back, don't you, Karen?
I do,
yeah, fab. So what does the organisation get from you?
So they get an outside-in view. So I've never worked in the NHS. I've been fortunate never really to need an awful lot of attention from the NHS, but I bring in my outside view from all the organisations I've worked in, best practice, so really keen on the people and patient experience. And they get challenged, they get an independent judge, and I'd say I'm a critical friend of the hospital. And I think wider than that, they get diversity from me. They get diversity instead of group thinking. So, NEDs are there to give individual thinking and bring their best to that organisation.
Cool. Sorry about that. That was my alarm going off to remind me to go and pick up my daughter from school. Yeah, sorry about that. So, yeah, many things will the business be getting from you, Karen. Great. So, what's the main values that you have driven through your career?
There are two, I think, that have really driven me. One is making a difference. So whether that's me sharing my knowledge, improving things, developing people, and doing the right thing is really important to me, having integrity and making decisions for the greater good. And it's got to be about behaving morally. So yeah, two things: making a difference, doing the right thing.
Great, thank you. And I mean, what advice would you give anybody wanting to become a non-executive director?
I'd say go for it. I I considered it for a long time, and I'm really glad I've done it. It's just given me a new dimension. And what I would say is choose an organisation you're passionate about, a subject that you're passionate about. Don't underestimate the value of your skills and capabilities and how another organisation would benefit from those. And check out the time commitment, because you do really need to balance your time very carefully.
Cool, thank you. Brilliant advice there. What inspires you, Karen, and why?
Oh, number one, my family. So the support that I give and get, the achievements of my two fab kids and my wonderful husband, they just make me want to be the best I can be. I think people really inspire me. I love learning from people. I always think, be more Hannah, be more Mark. You know, I look at people and think, I could do some of what you do, because I find that really inspiring. And inspiring others is really important to me. And so I get inspired if I can help anyone else in any way. And I just get real joy from that. And I think the last thing is probably creating stuff. And I've realised this through lockdown, actually. I've always needed a project. I need something to do and keep me busy away from day jobs and Ned jobs. So it was pom-poms during lockdown, bizarrely. I've made a fantastic piece of wall art. And my next one is a garden bar. So yeah, I just like creating stuff. I feel really inspired when I've got something to focus on.
Brilliant. I can certainly vouch for the people stuff. You know, I mean, as a search consultant, it is meant to be me supporting you ultimately, but you've become a great confidant to me as well over the years, haven't you, Karen? So great. And also garden bar, yes.
Absolutely.
Right, a cheeky question now, but we both knew it was coming. What is it that you value most out of our relationship, and what do you like most about Douglas Jackson as a brand?
And I love this question, Hannah, because it gives me an opportunity to tell you. I see you as a very trusted friend. I see you as very supportive, and you are always on hand to offer advice. So I think what you've already said just cuts both ways. And, you know, you really help me solve problems that I've got. And what I really, really like about you, Hannah, is the way you bring experts together. So I've met so many people through you who I've learned from, and hopefully will have learned from me as well. And you just help solve problems. So you bring really great topics to life for people, and you seek help from all of your network and bring it back. So incredibly beneficial. And if I think about Douglas Jackson as well in the same way, you know, it's an organisation with a fantastic reputation. It takes on great people. You are award-winning. You win accolades for the things that you do, and you create really helpful networks of conversation, so much wider than just recruitment.
Oh wow, blown away there.
You should be. You earned it.
Speechless. And you know that doesn't happen very often. Karen, brilliant. I'm sure that will be of great benefit to our network. So thank you very, very much for that. I really, really appreciate it. And, you know, thanks for the kind words. We do appreciate it. Cheers.
Good, no problem.